Hello, dollars. How are you all today? I'm sitting here with the one and only, my
Michael
baby daddy.
Dial, baby daddy.
So we're sitting here today and we wanted to come on and just share with you all. We're going to be celebrating our 35th wedding anniversary on July the 14th. What do you think about that?
I'm ecstatic. 35 years, that's uncommon.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
very uncommon, but we made it. Marriage is not easy. There's a lot of ups and downs. So, but at the end of the day, look, you're going to love the person who you're with.
Let me ask you a question, Michael, because I'm going to be interviewing my baby daddy and we're going to be talking and sharing some things. So, you want to tell them a little bit how we first met, like actually how that went and what happened, and the famous place where you love to hang out at.
Okay, well, I think pretty much everybody should already know this, but I don't mind saying it again. We met at a restaurant that's no longer here. It was called Daryl's Bar and Grill. So, but a friend of mine that was named Andre went to Daryl's sitting at the bar. She was already there, so somehow the way he struck up a conversation with her, and they started talking. So in the conversation, he asked her, would she be interested in me, a friend of his? I don't know, but she reluctantly said yes or whatever. You have to ask her that. So she agreed to meet. So he came back and asked me, will I? I said a few choice words. And I just asked, would he go out with her?
And why did you ask him that?
Because I want to know what type, how good looking you are. But I mean, even since it was a blind date thing, so
you wanted to make sure that you didn't get no.
I don't want to get no dog.
Oh my God!
So
honesty, honesty. Go ahead.
So, well, let me just go ahead and rephrase that. A person that's not attracted to me.
Okay.
Okay. So if the person that was attracted to him, pretty much we was on the same even keel on that.
Okay.
But anyway, so we met at Daryl where they set up a time and we met. But unfortunately, the friend of mine that was late coming with his date, and I did not know what this person looked like, didn't know was she already there. Matter of fact, I arrived early. Make sure we got a great table.
No, let me tell you why he arrived early. He arrived early because he didn't want to miss. He didn't want to miss nothing that's to be real. And he probably was over there and they arrived early. So if the girl didn't look right, he could have escaped out the door.
Probably true, but I don't think my character. I don't think I would have done that. I would have went on with the date, but
just not would have got a.
I would have never got a second.
No,
it would have been a second one. But anyway, it's. So I was sitting at the table, and she came in. I noticed a nice looking young lady come in, and she sat at the bar. And I was saying to myself, I wonder if this is the person. But maybe she's waiting on somebody, maybe the guy whom she came with, maybe she's waiting on the guy who went to the bathroom, whatever. So I just waited. And I waited, I don't know, about less than 5 minutes, I believe, just to see. And I waited. I said, well, there won't be no harm, no foul. So if I go over there and ask, I think my wife was calling herself by her middle name during that time, Anita.
Yes.
So I just went over there and asked, excuse me, is your name Anita? And she said, yes. I said, okay, my name is Michael. And so, did I say Michael or Mike?
You said Michael.
Okay. But
You said
anyway,
Michael.
so I said, would you like to join me over at the table? She said yes. I knew the bartender since I was in there a lot of times. His name was Jimmy. And I just told, Jimmy, he waived everything off. He said it was on him. So whatever she was drinking, whatever, so I didn't have to pay for that. So we over there started talking. And later during the conversation,
Girl.
we found out we was at the same place, same time. And then we found out that we went to the same grade school.
St. James
And then
Catholic School.
What?
Tell them where it is. St. James Catholic School.
St. James.
Here in Pritchard, Alabama. And what it was, let me go on and give a little bit of part of that. What it was, I was considered an upperclassman at the time. Michael was 2 years younger than me at school. So if I was sixth grader, then he was a fourth grader. So now, back in the day, you didn't date nobody younger. You was looking for an upperclassman. That was just the way it was, right? But, and then Michael had a big old afro and everything.
I have no afro.
Yeah.
I have no large afro.
He had an afro. Well, from my remember. See how you do that?
I don't have no afro.
About how many years ago?
Yeah, it's over 50.
Yeah.
So I didn't know a big old afro. How big an afro are you talking about?
You had an afro.
I
It
had
wasn't
an
no
afro,
huge,
but what?
It wasn't no huge.
Okay, when you say a big old afro, I'm thinking about way out here.
No.
Okay, no. Okay,
He had a little.
like,
He had a little one.
yeah, I had a little.
I was trying to give him some credit, but y'all, he didn't let me tell you.
No.
I was trying to make him look like Michael Jackson. I was trying to make you look like Michael Jackson.
No,
that's
I don't
okay.
want. No, that's okay.
No, with the afro and everything.
No, that's okay.
But you know how the guys was wearing the big afros and whatnot, and so that's what the ladies wore afro, and then they put them combs in the afro and all that.
I didn't do that.
With the afro, we know that he didn't do that. Michael wasn't that kind. But guess what? We started talking, became friends. Number one.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot. So I think for a relationship, and one of the nuggets we want to drop today, I think for a relationship, I think you must be friends.
Friends with no expectations. I mean, no expectations. You just learn the individual. Now, if anything becomes more than that, that's when the conversation needs to start. But for us, my thoughts was just being friends, but no expectations at all, no sexual intent, nothing.
So if we wanted to give someone hope, because a lot of people are doing dating for first date, dating online, and just meeting. So we are proof that a blind date can work.
Yeah, it can work.
We're living proof, right?
Yeah, it's living proof. Blind dates can work. But also, if you are friends with an individual of the opposite sex or anything like that, and make sure there's no expectation. Not because she looks good and y'all friends, you get that, but y'all just be friends. Just get to know the person.
In other words, we're not talking about friends with benefits.
No, we ain't talking about friends with benefits. No.
Now, I don't know if you decided to go further in a relationship, then you decide that. So
that need to be a conversation between them two.
Absolutely.
To be talked about whether or not she feels the same way about more than just friends. It may not be the same.
Yeah. Now, do you think we should, because I know I mirrored myself from you. I mirrored myself with Michael. I had core values on what I wanted and expected from the guy I'm dating, possibly going to marry. And Michael had the same.
You should have,
You had the same ideas of how we felt about certain things. Like he was a believer. He was faith based. He believed also in being kind. He also believed in worth ethic, because I didn't want to get somebody that I was going to have to take care of. I wanted someone that wanted something, and he also showed those characteristics. Also, I had 2 sons prior to that. Michael had 2 sons, so we were going to be joining a family together. and he was great with my sons, and so and I the same with yours, and so we also brought I brought two boys and you had two boys, so then we were a combined family. We were already a family, so that in itself is another hard thing too. I think when you start out and you already have children from other relationships or marriage, like myself, I was married before. Michael was never married before. I was, and so I was divorced, and so I had to get rid of a lot of other thoughts and what I had been just thinking that didn't line up. But what else would you think that they would actually, from 35 years of marriage of that? And I think God is the ground base for that.
It's the ground base. And plus, I was raised in the church. So people say that different religions don't work together, but I'm kind of living proof that it does. My father was Baptist and my mother was Catholic. So I was raised Catholic, but also knew Baptist. So but you just got to believe in one thing. It's only one God. No matter what church you go to, y'all praying to the same God.
Yeah.
So, but in with that, which all what she's saying, and in the core values which she's mentioning, is that was one of them within me that I think she kind of forgot to even mention, and you mentioned everything else, but that was part of it. And if you did say it, I must have missed it. But that was one thing in front of me. That how I was raised in the church.
Okay, so now you know that's another nugget. Yeah. So you think that having the core base of faith in a higher being, Father God, or different ways that religion come in, that two people can make it and work.
They can
make it work.
It can be worked, and as long as God is in it. And that y'all also, we said about the communication part on top of that. And as you realize that both of you are imperfect. Both of y'all are imperfect
Yeah, we
beings.
can sit on that one for a while because I think a lot of times now in the relationships now that are out here, there is no perfect. There is no perfect. I'm not perfect. Michael's not perfect. But I believe it's knowing that you're two imperfect people coming together to make something. Right? And to build something together.
Yeah. This is a long-lasting relationship. And in the Bible it says the two shall become one. You don't become one overnight. That's another thing.
Yes,
you become one spiritually when you say I do. Right then, when y'all say I do to one another, yes, y'all become one. But in order to become one on this earth, you got to go through a lot of stuff in order to become one.
But they are growth, though. That's growth.
It's growth. It's growth. But in that growth, you will have a lot of issues and problems and everything. And as long as you two will get together and become and resolve that thing, and not just want to run just every time an issue come up or anything like that.
But would you say that is you can also agree to disagree? And me and Michael do a lot of that.
Yeah, you can agree to disagree.
Okay.
But you just can't, a lot of things you can't take it to heart.
No.
You can't take it to heart.
Because I didn't want a Siamese twin now. And I didn't want him to be identical to me. What is life living with yourself? How interesting would that be? I don't think too interesting, right?
It gets boring.
Yeah, that would be boring. Pretty boring. You know, everything I want to do, he want to do it. Everything he want to do, I want to do it. It don't work that way. And then, but you have the respect. I think that was another thing, a level of respect between the two of us. Okay? And then sometimes Michael go along with me with what I'm saying, and he may not totally agree 100%, but he said, okay, you take the lead on that. And then I'm with Michael, you take the lead on that. I'm not totally in with that, but you take the lead on that, because sometimes I could jump ahead, and when I get something in me, then I go with it. Michael sometimes will continue to wait a while, and
maybe too long sometimes.
Yeah. Lord have mercy.
Maybe too long sometimes, but that's.
Let me give an example of that. You remember we wanted to do this specific thing, right? Mm-hmm. And he told me he needed to pray about it. All right now, y'all. He told me he needed to pray about it. Okay, so he said, give me 30 days and I'm going to pray about it. So 30 days came, 35 days, 40, 45 days. I said, well, let me go. I said, Michael, did you get your answer? Which way we gonna move, right? You know what he said? Y'all want to guess? I'm gonna give you a second or two. You know what he said? What? He had forgot. He had forgot. I had been waiting 45 days. I said, man, are you? He said, well, I did think about it, and I made my mind, but I got busy with something else. So he had made his mind like maybe on the 10th day. So I'm still going with the 30-day notion that I had to wait 30 days, right? To give him time to, mull over it and do what he needed to do with it and whatnot. But on the 45th day, I was like, okay, man, tell me. He had forgot, but he had already decided to agree to go with it.
Yep. Did that, done that. So.
Yeah. So check back in is what I'm saying. If they tell you they're going to pray about it, check back in to make sure they done prayed about it and make a decision. That's kind of how we kind of flow with that. And with our jobs and how you work and what would you say about that?
Well,
with our date nights that we make sure we do
date nights.
those.
Yeah, we do date nights. And
date days.
You do have to do that every at least once a week if you can, if time permits. Date nights, it don't have to be nothing extravagant. It can just be, you can go out to dinner or just sit out here on the deck, drink some wine, something like that. It don't really. As long as y'all spend some time together, that's pure. Because the way life is these days, the way when you move, that person working, whatever she working, you got to have some time together. You can
lose each other.
Yeah, you get to do that. And there's one other thing. I mean, we giving y'all a lot of little tidbits and tips and stuff
nuggets.
Like this.
I call them golden nuggets.
But as one that's up the tip of my mind. Let them have room for growth. Growth, because once you get married, you may be marrying a person that you know, but in that sense of time, that person's going to grow. They're not going to be the same the next year or so, 5 years, whatever. But they're going to continue to grow, and just as you are. You may not seem like you're growing, but you are growing too, as well. As you live on this earth, both of y'all are going to grow in the same directions, or maybe something she may go off a little bit. That's why we say date nights are important.
To kind of keep that, and I think you should set times that areas. Like, I don't think the bedroom is a good area to have conversation and be fussing and arguing and carrying on. And I used to say we had heated fellowships as opposed to saying arguing, because I think when you put certain words out there and you put certain, different attachments to them, it can mean different things. So we used to say heated fellowships, but I don't like arguing or having a disagreement or anything in my bedroom. I think that is your place where you come together and, you enjoy each other, whatnot. It's kind of like that's an off limit space. So I think when you get ready to start having those conversations that may not be the happiest one. I think you should set a place for those, time for those, and where you're not distracted either. And then I think you can get through it. And then the other part is having kids, children. Remember, you all were just you and him first, and then you start having kids. And sometimes, the guys, they can get caught up in children. Wives can get caught up in children, but you have to still keep that love time together for you and your husband, you and your mate. So do that. And I'm one for a planner. And whoever's the planner, the guy can be the planner, or like myself, I'm the planner. So I always plan something for Michael and I to do, and he's always on board with that. He's gonna get on board with that and flow with it. And so we didn't lose ourselves with raising the kids.
No.
So that was a good thing too, because a lot of people lose.
Yeah, because basically I was a workaholic. I was raised in working a lot. And thank God she got me out of that somewhat. But
I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a good work ethic,
but I do
you
like to take vacations now. The ones that I used to do, but I do like taking 2 weeks, week vacations. So, yeah.
And they could do many vacations because we used to do that too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes your finances, you just have to make that happen. I have done picnics, and Michael and I have done picnics. We've made cooked dinner here at the house, or had someone to keep the kids, or the kids went to their parents' home because we raised our grandkids, helped our sons raise the grandkids. So it was just a lot with us. But now, oh my God, we don't want to see no baby bottles.
Look, y'all can, if you drop them off, you got to come back and get them.
No, they ain't dropping them off. When you leave here, they going with you. I'm done. We're done.
No, we're done with kids.
We got rid of all the baby bed cribs, anything look like. In my house now, everything is like white, it's glass, it's all that. No. And I love kids, don't get me wrong, because I do that every day. I love children, but to be back into that again, we just don't. So we're in our sweet spot where we're traveling and just enjoying each other and, visiting with other couples and going out of the state and stuff like that. And Michael and I can have a real good time just sitting outside, like he said, outside on the deck or in the jacuzzi or something like that. I like to get Michael a lot, though. I make him think about things, and he starts scratching his head like, oh, Lord, he should come with something else. And then I was like, hold up, dude. You ain't got to worry about it. I ain't finna do nothing. I'm just messing with you.
Look, she comes up stuff so quick, and I'm like, Lord, we just got through doing something.
But you love it.
But I'll be like, man, then I'll be like thinking, okay, now I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. That's a guy thing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think with us coming up with this 35-year anniversary, what are you looking forward to when we go away this week?
I have no expectations.
None?
No, I don't have no expectations. Right now, I don't know.
You don't have no expectation on what you want to do?
But with you?
Yeah.
Well, I know with you. I think you're talking about for me, But I got something planned for you, so it ain't no big deal.
Or is it a secret? Yeah, it's a secret.
I won't let it be.
Yeah, he don't want to tell y'all that part. But anyway.
She'll tell y'all later on when do another casting podcast or whatever, something. I don't know. But she'll let you know. She always does.
Okay. But I'm just want to tell y'all, thank y'all for dropping in on Dial In with Dr. D and to sit here and listen to me and my baby daddy talk about what we got going on in these Mobile streets.
Yeah.
And so.
And as you put those nuggets that we, put out there and everything. So that's just a little help out between what we had to go through and what we learned in these 35 years.
Yeah. So when you
So
know, you're gonna tell them about that. So when you know, you know. Ladies, I knew when I knew that Michael would be a great person for me, a great father, confidant, and he was my friend first. And so we started. I love that part. So for anything, we were friends first. Yeah.
yep. Well, that's it for this what you call podcast show. But
You don't know what. That's it.
this is it from the Dialing with Dr. D.
In the Dials Chronicles. Thank you
And
again.
I forgot the Dials Chronicles.
Thank you for dropping in with us today. Come back and see us. We'll be right here, right?
Yeah.
For another 35 years.
Ooh, we be coming up when it's 70. So y'all be looking for us during that time too.
Yeah, because we're going to still have it going. So blessings to y'all. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Bye.
Bye.